All right, welcome everybody. So excited. Wow. I know there's been a lot of anticipation, a lot of eagerness about today's special bonus call. I saw some people that were just almost, it was like as exciting as Christmas morning or Diwali morning, waking up because they were so eager to learn this aspect of the ancient secrets of a master healer, there's such a core thing that these masters for thousands of years used to help understand what's happening in someone's mind, body, emotions. How can you read someone like a book, is how Dr. Ram would say, and then know what to do about it? Nina, thank you. Good morning to you. Actually, let's just start because I love connecting with everyone who's joining from all over. Let's just start with a couple people, share what they're grateful for this morning. Maybe Judy Lamar, would you? I don't know why, but maybe you can share something you're grateful for this morning.
Hi, I'm grateful for you. I'm grateful for Dr. Naram. I'm grateful for what I'm learning and experiencing. Really enjoying looking at the dhatus and thinking of myself and others. I'm finding that really interesting.
Yeah. Amazing how powerful that is, huh? That
yeah,
concept.
It's cool. It's like it's another way to look at the world.
Well,
it would take some being with it for a while.
Yeah, it inspires me having you here, Judy. Judy, 80 years young. If she can learn pulse, then any of us can learn pulse. You just inspire me every time I see you on the call in the renaissance of your life. Fantastic.
Thank you, my dear. Appreciate it.
Good. Let's go to Cindy, actually. Cindy, what's one thing you're grateful for this morning?
Good morning.
Good morning.
I am grateful to be here, to be able to be learning and growing, and I'm full of excitement and wonder, kind of childlike. It's fun. So thank you.
I like that very much. Everyone can post in the chat something you're grateful for today. I see Jessica says, I'm grateful for my pod and our connection. Sonia says, grateful I could join the connection today. Catherine, can you unmute yourself and just share one thing you're grateful for today?
Me?
Yeah.
I'm grateful to live in Italy.
No.
I'm French, but I live in Italy. I'm grateful to live in Italy.
Giovanni, she's French, but she's grateful to live in Italy. That's a big thing.
Wow. Oh, most welcome, dear. Most welcome. Most welcome. So we should meet once.
Yes. And I like your accent in Dr. Giovanni in English, because you are the only Italian I know who is speaking English with an Indian accent.
And I have a French heart. No? This sounds very French. Yeah.
La R è moche.
Yes, I cannot say R properly. Yes.
Yeah.
Like a French. Good. Yeah. So it's very mix.
Yes.
Michael, what's one thing you're grateful for?
Me, Michael? Well, for me, it's not morning. For me, it's 5 p.m. already in the Czech Republic. And I'm grateful for my new work in Prague, the capital city of the Czech Republic, which started this Monday. And today I had the first consultation with clients, and it was very exciting. And I'm very grateful that I can do this stuff and learn things. And I hope that I will implement the principles I will learn here into my work. And I believe it will be very good.
What is the work you're doing there?
I'm a social worker. Social work with families.
Wow, social work with families. Well, it's kind of a personal thing, but I always heard Prague was the most beautiful city in the world. And I traveled all throughout the whole world, but I was always saving Prague until I was married to someone I was so in love with. And I was like, oh, I want to go there with the person I'm in love with. So I've never been to Prague, but I hope one day to meet you there. And maybe
you will meet the woman in Prague.
Yeah, why didn't I think of that? That's another great idea. I've been waiting to go to Prague until I met her, but maybe she's there waiting for me. Oh, that's fantastic. Man, so many people. I'm reading what you're grateful for. Andrea for humanity, grateful for family, Dr. Naram, Dr. Clint, Jane, and life. Mumtaz, grateful for being alive and enjoying doing these sessions. Love learning these sessions. And great, thank you. I want to hear from Jill and Denny, joining from the UK. What's one thing you're each grateful for?
Hi.
Hi there.
What are you grateful for?
I'm grateful for the incredible learning I'm having with so much love and humor. It's beautiful. I'm always surprised. No, today is just another day of wows and happiness.
Oh, so beautiful.
I ditto that. Plus, we have sunshine today, which kind of just lifts you too, you know.
Yeah.
So I'm just so grateful to be able to be involved in this incredible training. Just magical.
Well, I love seeing the sunlight falling on both of you. You both look like angels there.
Oh.
Beautiful. I want to say I'm so grateful for you being here, Jill, Denny, for everyone who's spoken, for those that posted. I'm looking and I'm so happy. People, over 115 people joined such late notice for this bonus extra session. I even see Mariam joining from Vietnam. Mariam, what time is it there right now?
Hi, namaste, everybody. It's 11:07 in the night. I'm a little bit tired, but I'm very grateful to be here with all of you to learn and to grow. And I'm grateful for Mung Bean, and I'm just so happy to be here.
Oh, that's beautiful. I'm grateful for Mung Bean as well. To make this amazing time. I see you're unmuted. Do you want to share one thing you're grateful for?
Are you talking to me?
Yeah, talking to you.
Ah, sorry. Hello, namaste, namaste. I'm sorry. I'm in Germany, and I'm just so grateful to see the miracles that are taking place all around us. It's absolutely so great to be in such a loving team and really see the transformation right before one's eyes. It's incredible to be able to not only live it, but also to share it with others around you. I'm grateful.
Thank you, Cici. Thank you for joining from Germany. Radu from Romania. Fantastic. What's one
thing? Hello. Well, I just wanted to say I'm very grateful for today because about 1 week ago, I was starting to do Marma session on kid. He's 2.5 now, and he is unable to speak since he was 9 months when he was making some immunization, and after that he stopped speaking. Now he started to get focused. The day his mother was amazed how focused he became, because he was a little bit like lost, you know. You could not communicate with him even with the eyes too much. Now he started to be very active, very present, a little bit of saying ah, or maybe in something like hi. He's able to do, and the progress is quite sensible in only 1 week. So I hope will be more news. I don't know when, but
wow, fantastic, Radu.
Yeah.
You know,
very good, Radu.
Thank you, thank you.
Congratulations.
Thank you, Dr. Giovanni. Thank you very much.
Radu. Thank you. Good. You are now spreading in the Balkans. Yeah, you say, yeah, all the ancient secrets.
Yeah.
Very good.
We do.
Yeah. We spoke about this boy. This boy, I'm so happy that so in very fast, very fast, very quick quick response. So means we have done properly.
Especially when I see the mother seeing the difference, then that means it's for real. It's not only me, it's the mother who see the difference.
Okay, very good, very good.
So powerful. You know, Dr. Naram must be so happy when he sees this happening. The people already speaking on this call from France, from Italy, from Romania, from Czech Republic, from Germany, you know, from all over the US, people from all over the world. And Radu, I just want to acknowledge, because when he started, he learned mostly from the YouTube videos available, and he would actually apply it with the people that he loved, or the patients, or the people that came to him, and saw such powerful results. And so there's so much available, it's just waiting for us to apply it. Now, today is a very, very special call. Right before I go to that, Jana, one thing I just want to hear from you, one thing you're grateful for.
You know, I am very grateful for Carol. Carol is like an angel to me. She just, if I need anything, I just call her, and she has already given me such great words of wisdom today, and I'm so grateful for her.
So beautiful. Well, we can't let that go without asking Carol. It looks like you're, I don't know, Carol, if you're in a place you can share, but one thing you're grateful for. And if you're not,
I'm so grateful for the people that I've come in contact with, for the opportunity to share love and to feel supported. This course is wonderful. I'm really enjoying myself and learning a lot. So I'm really looking forward to today. I'm very grateful for Dr. Giovanni. His words of wisdom and kindness have really touched my heart. So grateful for Dr. Clint, grateful for Dr. Giovanni, grateful for Jana, grateful for the 250 people who are trusting us with their time and energy to help spread ancient secrets across the world.
I see in the post.
Thank you, Carol. Thank you, dear Carol. Then we want to stay in touch with you. I want to know how you are progressing, how you are going, how your health is improving.
Yeah.
I see that Daffy says, Carol's our angel on this course. Thank you for your service. Caps. Darcy says, I'm so impressed by James and Carol. Their selfless service is just as amazing as Dr. Giovanni. Anne says, Carol asked me why I was squinting on the tech call, and she sent me herb suggestions and eye exercises. Carol, you helped me so much. Amazing. And then Janet says, Jana, you are that for me. Ah, so beautiful. Radu, Sonia wants to connect with you. Yeah, this is a living, learning, achieving, caring community. And so what's so exciting is we're not only learning some of the most powerful principles by which you can change your life and the lives of others, but it should be enjoyable, the process. You know, sure, we're in a healing environment in which healing opportunities arise. Anytime you're in a healing environment, stuff will come up inside of you. So I fully anticipate that during this course, especially as you're moving from knowing to doing to being, sometimes things come up, egos come up, fears come up. Sometimes trauma from our childhood comes up that we haven't ever thought of before. And it's like, why is this coming up now? Is something wrong? No, something is right. Because finally you're in a safe container for that thing to come up and be healed so that you can be who you're meant to be on this planet. And the reason why that's so important in the context of this conversation is because as you're preparing to read Pulse, it's not just about technical know-how, okay? You're going to learn that on this call, but it's beyond that. Dr. Naram said it so aptly, it's about your being. Why I'm so happy Dr. Giovanni is teaching this call today, because he is someone who exemplifies that being. You know, I must have interviewed thousands of Dr. Giovanni's patients, traveled with him throughout all of Italy, Europe, US, Canada, India. I've been with him all around the world. One of my favorite moments is when I asked one of his patients, can you describe Dr. Giovanni to me? And she said, you know, he's like a big heart with arms and legs attached. I was like, yeah, that's a perfect description of Dr. Giovanni. For all of those who've read the book, you know, you'll have heard so many of the stories where even the very first chapter isn't about Dr. Naram, you know, it's about the ancient secrets, how they're applied in the hands of someone who exemplifies the principles and understands how to apply those principles and those processes to get results. The reason why that felt so important was because we wanted everyone to understand that you don't have to meet Dr. Naram, that the principles stand on its own. And when applied by those who really devote their life to learn these, you can change your life and you can change the lives of others. Now, having said that, both Giovanni and I, man, and all those who had a chance to learn directly from Dr. Naram, we have so much gratitude to him for devoting his life in such a way. And so we have a really special treat. Before I go to Dr. Giovanni, actually, I'm going to go to Dr. Naram. So enjoy this introduction of what is pulse healing by the legendary master healer himself, Dr. Pankaj Naram. This is at the German university where we were teaching for 2 years. And we're just going to play a few minutes of this for you now. Hearts and minds open. Let's give a big round of applause. Dr. Pankaj. Thank you.
Very, very happy to be with you, meet you, love you, receiving your love from you. Thank you. Now, one of the most powerful heart of our entire program. How to read a person like a book and then what to do about it. What is this pulse healing? It was known as Nadi Vidya, the lost ancient secrets of Nadi Vidya, pulse healing. Now, Vidya. What is Vidya?
Knowledge.
Knowledge, wisdom, insight, grace, power. What happens after you get a Vidya? With knowledge, you go into brain. But Vidya, you go into being. With Vidya, you can see something beyond. With Vidya, you get a special ability to see your body, mind, emotions and soul, and also your body, mind, emotions and souls of others. You get a special ability, a way to see. Once you get a way to see, then you can do miracles. It looks like miracles, but then it is not a miracle. Like Einstein saw apple falling, everybody saw apple falling. Einstein produced a law. So these are laws of how to create vibrant health, unlimited energy, peace of mind at any age. I had a master who lived up to 125. If you would have not known pulse, he would not live up to 125. You know your body. Now, my vata is increasing, my pitta is increasing, my kapha is increasing, body is increasing, and then how to balance. Balance is life, balance is energy. Where is the block? Like we did to Sahajit. Where is the block? Oh, I don't know Sahajit very well. Means I actually meet her every 6 months and she feeds me some wonderful khichdi, wonderful vegetables. She comes and hugs me. Done. Am I right? I don't know about past. I don't know about her everything. But as soon as I saw the pulse, it was an emotional block. What was the emotional block? I still have some ideas, but the main thing is that she wants to release, but she is not allowing to release. Now this is from the pulse I found out. And then I said, and who is nearer to Sahajik? Suyogi. And Suyogi says, yes. Now that was, even Suyogi must have been surprised. How do I know? So how do I know all these things? Do I have a special ability? Answer is no. Is it learnable? Answer is yes. You can learn if you want. If you have a desire, if you have got this alertness. But then you have to understand principles, processes and results. What you saw with Sahajik was a result. What you saw was a process. But what you could not see, that I was checking from the pulse and understanding. With her also I was checking from the pulse and making other different points. So from that you get a way to see a person, including you. Interesting? So pulse reading can help.
Beautiful. So interesting. Yes. So how can you read someone like a book? He says it's learnable. And now you're going to learn it from someone who is one of the best on planet Earth. He's done it. He started as a medical doctor at one of the top schools in Europe, the oldest running medical school on planet Earth, actually a very respected medical school, and then spent over so much of his life, decades of his life, studying this ancient science and art, and now practices exclusively pulse healing, where he doesn't have to use any medications. He doesn't have to use any antibiotics. He doesn't have to use any, just from the ancient secrets, he can help so many cases. In fact, he told me, he's like, I'm so surprised if I don't see this thing happening. Dr. Ram says it looks like a miracle, but it's based on an ancient science. And then Dr. Giovanni goes deeper and discovers he's a man who is always learning, always loving, and always serving. And so it's with my great pleasure that I have a chance to introduce you now to Dr. Giovanni Brincivalli. Let's give him a big round of applause, Dr. Giovanni.
Yay!
Everyone's loving on you, Giovanni.
Yay.
All right, Giovanni, let's see if we can unmute you here. I think
I am open. Yes. Yes. Thank you, Dr. Clint. Thank you, Dr. Naram, for this wonderful presentation and for bringing and sharing all the secrets, the secret of pulse healing, and making available to whoever is interested and passionate about learning. And so I'm I am a medical degree, so I'm a medical doctor, and so when we study, I have studied in Bologna University. It is actually the oldest university actually running in the world. It's more than 900 years. So when we go in the medical college and we check the pulse, the knowledge and the is very gross. Very grossolano. We don't have this powerful, deep knowledge of how to read a person, how to read the mind, the emotions, and like a book, like Dr. Naram and Ancient Healing Secrets. So when we touch the pulse, we just feel the heartbeat, if it is regular, if it is higher, lower. We can just feel if the pulse is hot or not, but we don't go deeper. Yes, thank you for translating grossolano, means not yes. So then when I went first time in in India, and I saw Dr. Naram, that he was making an absolute precise diagnosis, just touching the pulse. This was something very, very amazing, very surprising for me, that I never saw, I never heard before. And staying near Dr. Naram, so I have seen how deep was his method. How deep is this method of touching the pulse and describing? And Dr. Naram is going even deeper. So he has put the pulse reading in a different dimension, in a deeper dimension. That is the healing. So means that through the touch of the pulse, the healing process starts. So we can have a deep connection. We can install a deep connection, heart-to-heart connection with the patients, that makes the healing process deeper and deeper. So I have seen how Dr. Naram was able, for example, in a very accurate way to detect how is the blood pressure of the patients, how was the sugar level, how was the PSA, means the imbalance in the prostate, what kind of problem was going on. And sometimes as happened also in my practice, so we can see when we feel which is the imbalance that is affecting the person, which is the imbalance of vata, pitta, and kapha that is going on in the body, you can also prevent. You can see ahead what kind of problem they will have. And sometimes it's funny because some patients, they come and sometimes I will say, oh, I feel you have like a kind of back pain, suppose. And they say, no, I don't have any kind of back pain. I'm flexible, I am strong, I don't have any joints problem. And then after, when they come next, maybe 1 month or 2 months, they say, oh, doctor, you were right. Yeah, because now I have started to have a back pain. So this is not, sometimes I have to reassure the patient that I'm not a bad wisher. So I don't, I don't bring bad luck, but just because with the pulse, so we can see what is going on, and we can, so this is the power of that. And so then we can work also in prevention.
Yeah,
so prevention.
The imbalance shows you what's coming if they don't change, which is so powerful. Yeah,
exactly.
Then you can help them how to avoid the problem even to start with, if they're wise enough.
Yes. So to this, as we say, no, prevention is better than cure. So when you start to heal the problem, to remove the cause that are creating the problem, you are removing, so you are not experiencing in future the illness that is due to this vata or pitta imbalance in deep. Yeah, and Dr. What was most amazing for me also, I see Dr. Naram, that he was describing the characteristics of the parents sometimes. So he was checking the pulse of some maybe lady and say, oh, is your mother suffering from joint pain? Is suffering from arthritis? Or checking someone else's pulse, he was saying, oh, your father must have high blood pressure. So deep it is this system when it is, how you say, in the excellence way, when there is experience in the excellence. Yeah. So my most there are two situations that are very important. So this science so deep that the ancient, how you say, the rishi, the master, Dr. Naram, the master, Baba Ramdas, and all the master that have all the successors of Master Jivaka. So they have been so deep, so deep that they have observed deeply how the works is working, which are the principles behind the health, and what is going on when the imbalance comes, and what kinds of problem, how you can detect, from where you can see before it clinically comes at the surface. So before you become healed. Yeah. So, and they observed also that there is like a kind of rhythm in the body. So there is a healthy body, resounds, and has a rhythm that is equal to 6. So they felt that they very interesting. When you check the pulse, you feel, or you have to check, you have to go deeper and checking and observing and feeling that the pulse has a rhythm. So there is a rhythm, and when this rhythm is equal to 6, and then there is a small gap, so means you are having a good health. So whatever you are doing is proper. You are acting according to the law of the nature. So you have a good lifestyle, you are eating properly, you are taking good supplements, yeah, and you are in a good shape. But then when this rhythm changes, so there are signals in the body that you are having, or you are going to have problems. And then so if you have the rhythm become 5 instead of 6, so you are experience, or you will have some problem, mild problem, the kind of mild problem that are easily reversible. And then when the rhythm changes again, so it become more low. So you have, you can have 4, you can have 4.5. So the illness is already have a deep root in your body, and the process of healing can require more time and to have more. You say you have to be more strict on the diet, and obviously maybe become chronic. So this is what is going on, yeah, in the body, yeah. And then
can I repeat so that way you understand? So
at
a certain point, Dr. Giovanni will show you actually how to take the pulse, how to feel the pulse. And as you're feeling through your fingers, we call it listening to the pulse, but you're feeling the pulse, you'll feel the bounces and the rhythm he's talking about. A healthy pulse goes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then there's a little gap. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, little gap. So there's a rhythm of 6. It jumps 6, like in a rhythm of 6. When it's less, it shows you how deep that disease is and how much more time it will take to come out of that thing. Is that correct, Dr. Giovanni?
Yeah, this is very good. Thank you, Clint. Yeah, thank you, Clint. Yeah, and yes, and they have observed also. So yeah, this variation in the pulse, and then there are a lot of Dr. Naram was mentioning that are more than 365, if I remember, a lot of variation in the pulse, in the combination. So I have, you know the story of Rabat, you may have read the book, right? Who is, I don't know if they have read the book or.
Most everybody knows it. Oh, I even see Keith got it right there. Fantastic. Okay, good. So most of you have heard Rabat's story, and some of you have even heard her speak, if you're part of the Global Healing Miracle Experiment, which was so fun.
Yes. But this story was an example, very intense example for me, intense experience in how can be a pulse of a person that is in danger of life, person that can be in danger of life. So briefly, no, Rabat was in the hospital. Rabat is a girl, yeah, that she was in coma when the mother asked for the help, yeah. And so me and Dr. Clint and Dr. Sandhya, so we went to the hospital, and so Dr. Naram asked to check the pulse, and so
we actually have on the call Vinay, who also knew Rabat very well. And Vinay, can you share? Yeah, Vinay, can you share just for a moment your experience with Rabat and this whole situation?
Thank you very much, Dr. Clint. Is it okay if I'll share about things the day before when we've been exiled to the hospital,
Yeah,
if you allow me?
And what I want to do is, because we only have about 25 minutes total remaining for the call, so just share brief your experience, like maybe in 1 minute.
Sure.
Okay.
Sure. When we reached to the hospital, honestly, it was really shocking for me, because when we entered in the ICCU ward in one of the reputed hospital of the Bombay, we saw one girl hardly of the age 8 or 9 years. She is full of all the veins, all the tubes and everything. And top of the thing, she was on the ventilator. Her face was swollen, and I'm sorry to say, I could not able to see the thing. I was not able to stop my tears. I told Dr. Clint I'm going out because I could not able to, because a small girl, how she can take these things, and because of the health challenges she has, and I cannot still at present all my goosebumps are on, because when I'm able to see that. I can able to recollect that scene. I was not able to. I'm sorry, Dr. Clint, I cannot. But yeah, that. I'm sorry, I cannot able to describe that part. Dr. Clint, you please continue.
Yeah,
Because
Vinay, you shared so powerfully, so powerfully. That is a shocking moment, even for me, walking in the ICU, seeing this girl, and not only her, but the other people in the beds, and the family over the different people in the beds, and all the tears coming, you know, and the silence only interrupted by the beeping of the machines, and you feel like there's no hope for any of these people. Is what my thought was. If there was a solution, it would be here. And it was so powerful because not Dr. Naram didn't even have to be in the room. Just his ancient secrets were there. And Giovanni walked up over to the bed of this little girl, took her pulse. Now, I was a skeptic, big skeptic at the time. So according to me, he was just doing his duty, you know, with no hope. And Giovanni, when you felt her pulse, what did you feel in the pulse then?
Oh, yes, yes. Yeah, yeah. You so good, good. Thank you, dear Vinay. Thank you, Clint. You have brought up the atmosphere where we was in when we enter in the ICU. Yeah. So, but yes, back to the point that we was invited to check the pulse of Rabat. Yeah. And as I told you before, so 6 is a healthy pulse. And then when the rhythm of the pulse starts to decrease, yeah, means the gravity of the illness is more and more and more. And then what Dr. Naram was saying, I heard to say that when the pulse become the rhythm of 3, so you have 3 beats, 3 heartbeats, 1, 2, 3, and then a small gap, and then 1, 2, 3. So means you are in a point that the patient, the soul, has decided to leave the body, and there is no reversible. It can be no, you cannot do anything. So it is you are you have to accompany the soul. You have to inform or whatever, inform the family that at that point we are not able to do anything, right? So when we check the pulse of Rabat, at that time the pulse was 3.5. So there was just 3.5, 3, and then a small, a tiny, how you say, window for bringing her back to the life. Yeah. And so at that point, we have informed Dr. Naram, and we have shared the condition, no, that Rabat is very, very in danger condition. So what we can do, and yeah, so then, you know, the happy end of the story, that Rabat came out of the coma. So, but it is important. Yes.
There's the picture of Rabat. And imagine that. Imagine being Giovanni, being in the hospital, seeing this little girl, the mother desperate. You know, when I asked the mother, what do you want? She broke into tears and says, I want my little girl just to say mommy again, you know? And for that kind of intensity, that kind of a situation, how much power is there that Giovanni knew how to read the pulse? Where was the imbalance? That there was hope, even if it was slim, and then to know the ancient secrets of what to do about it. And so for those who have read the book, you also know the happy ending.
The principle, yes.
Yeah.
But this is just how just is amazing, very good. Obviously, the overall story, it shows how powerful is the system, but also how accurate is the how you say, the pulse ceiling. Because when I spoke with Dr. Naram, he said that the pulse is 3.5. So he said that he was confident that applying all the system, applying all the principle, so Rabat could have become better. So, so this is very, very, very interesting, but very happy, Clint, that you brought in your book so nicely the story of Rabat. So it's the most happy end of and then yes. So how we can check the pulse? How we check the pulse? So we have 3 main energy, right, in our body. So we have everybody knows about Vata, Pitta, Kapha.
Yeah, we went through the training with Dr. Heyman just 2 weeks ago. Everyone went in detail about what is Vata, what is Pitta, what is Kapha. In fact, tomorrow we have a bonus training with Dr. Stephen as well. He's going to do it from his perspective, all these different terms, and from his perspective, how you can make sense of them and why they're important. So tomorrow at the same time, he'll be going through
Very good.
these terms.
Very good. Very good.
It's helpful if the first time you're hearing it, you hear it multiple times from multiple people. Something that Dr. Heyman said may impact you, but maybe something that Stephen says will give you the aha moment of the power of understanding that concept.
Yes. So, yeah, Dr. Naram always say that we should know where we are, which is our condition, which is our body type. So I have seen sometimes that people goes to try to understand through some question. There are questionnaires that asking so questions, and then you guess what is your body type. But with the pulse reading you are you have the instruments, you have the tool, you have the power, the capacity to really clarify what is your body type and what is going on in your body. Yeah, so we have three points. Yeah, the Vata, Pitta, Kapha. So first of all, when you are going to check the pulse, you should sit straight, what we call a power position. So the back has to be straight, the feet has to be on the ground, flat on the ground. Yeah, and so gently ask the patient to offer your hand. Now we have been trained, I have been trained using my left hand to check the pulse. So you can use whatever hands you like, but the left hand is more, I can say, is more comfortable and practical. So there are some benefit to that. So the left hand is connected with the right brain, that is not logical, but is more prone to the intuition. So left hand is connected with the right, so with the right part of the brain. Left hand is more logical, right part is more intuition. Yeah. Then if you check the pulse with your left hand, your right hand is free and you can write. This is also practical things. Yeah, because Dr. Naram was watching, checking the pulse of 100, 300, 400, sometimes 500 people. So every moment has to be, every moment is precious. But anyway, and then you choose the hand. I have chosen the left hand, as Dr. Naram was suggesting, and then ask the patient to give offer the right hand of the patient. Yeah, and then locate and put the finger where. Can you show again, Clint, this small the graphic? Yes. Yeah, you see. So your index finger has to go in Vata position. Index finger in Vata position. And you are, and then the middle will be in the Pitta position. And the ring finger will be in the Kapha position. So how to locate the Vata, also Vata position? Because everybody has a different arms and there are slightly difference in every one arm. So you, on the side of the thumb of the patient, yeah? Suppose I'm a patient, yeah? So there is and in this side, there is like a bone. So you should locate a bone. You should locate this bone and put the finger after the bone. So there is a bone, and then locate the first finger here, then the second, and then the third. This is Vata. Vata is very close to the wrist, to the pulse. Yeah. and the finger should be not very close each other, but there should be a space, some space, 1, 2, and little space in between the finger. And the pressure also, the pressure is not equal. There is more pressure here in this ring finger where there is kapha. Kapha is very, it is more, how you say, is more deep located. So this is stronger pressure. Pitta, it is a mild pressure, and in vata point, the pressure is to be milder. Okay, and then
he's just saying, what is the pressure that you put on it? So when you're actually pressing the points, you find the bone. Even Vinay put in the chat, it's called the radical bone. You identify it. Everyone has a different length of bone here. So you find out where that length of bone ends, and that's where you put the first finger, the second finger, the third finger with some space. And then you press more pressure on your ring finger, less pressure on your middle finger, and even less pressure on your pointer finger. And that is the kapha, the pitta, and the vata. And from doing that, then you feel.
Yeah, and then, and then also there is another step that you should, the finger should not be like vertical, but they have to go flat. I don't know if you can see.
Yeah.
Not like this, not vertical. Yeah, but the finger, all the finger has to go flat.
That's not the depth of your fingers, but actually you press it down and you're pressing your fingers flat. Because also the vein comes through here different ways for different people, and you want to make sure.
Exactly. Because the artery is not straight sometimes. So if you are, when the finger are flat, you are covering more area. So you are able to detect where the arteries. Yeah, and then you, when you have located and put the hands properly, so you have to observe, you have to feel which is in which finger you feel more the pressure. So you have to see, you feel that there is a movement under it is something physical. So when I did my degree thesis in Bologna University, I was explaining Vata, Pitta, Kapha, how to detect the pulse. So this professor was very skeptical and was saying, "Oh, yes, this is a very good, but how you can check? How you can, because for me it is like believing in God. You are speaking about energy, but which action they have, which feeling they give. So under the finger, actually you have a feelings. So Dr. Naram used to say that checking the pulse, reading the pulse is like opening a TV, opening a TV channel. Yeah, and then this channel can speak different languages, can speak German, can speak Japanese. You may not able to understand which language the channel is speaking. So you have to learn the language of the pulse. Yeah, so this is the three position. Yeah. Hello.
Wow, so powerful.
Yeah,
you know,
yes.
we have about 5 minutes left, and I just want to keep us on track. If this is your first time hearing this, then just be patient with yourself. Like if all of us were trying to learn Japanese right now or Italian, we'd understand it takes some time, but Giovanni has brought us to the basics. And so now I think Dr. Giovanni has a kind of a challenge activity or an assignment for us on how you can start to practice and in which way to practice and which way not to practice.
Yeah. The best way you can start to feel the pulse of everybody. If you are already a doctor, if you are already a healer, if you have clients, or just you start with your family, you can. The next challenge is to check as many pulse you can. And but there is a good news. So it is a complex art and science. But Dr. Naram used to say that when if you at the beginning have a clear, you are sure that you are feeling properly the pulse, at least Vata, Pitta, Kapha, he was saying that 70–80% of the diagnosis is already done. So this is the first step. You have to practice. So practice, and you have an assignment to check. And then we can plan how many polls you can do daily. But more you do. So because it's a question of sensitivity. Dr. Naram, for this reason, say that you have to use only one end, because it is a very mild, subtle movement that then you get used to, and you can interpretare, you can understand.
Now, Jody and many people are saying, does it matter if we read the pulse on the patient's right hand or on the patient's left hand? Does that matter?
It's okay. It's okay. You can feel the pulse also here. The pulse is everywhere. And there are different schools. I have seen there are different schools. Some other school, they check for a girl or lady left hand, for a male or a man, the right hand. So our school, we just check the pulse in one hand and everything is there.
Yeah, beautiful. Now I want to say that, yeah, Dr. Naram, he would give the assignment to see 100 pulses. Now, with COVID or whatever kind of situation, you may not have 100 people you even see, but at least you can start with who you do see, your own family. Or if you're a doctor, you're a healer, you're a yoga instructor, you can start feeling the pulses of people. Dr. Ram was also careful. He says, when you're just learning, people may say, what do you see? What do you see? And then you politely reply, I'm just learning. Thank you for letting me see your pulse. So you don't have to go into explanation about what you feel or what you don't feel. You just say, I'm just learning, and then you write it on a notepad. He always had a notepad with him. In fact, I would keep notes in my phone, but whenever you're taking a pulse, you put the person's name, you put what you see, and then if you want to, you can just ask them questions about their health. And the more that you ask questions, the more you discover, oh, maybe this is related. As you do it more and more and more and more and more and more and more, then you start to see what's connected. Then the aha moments come. The aha moment very rarely, I mean, there is an aha moment when you can first feel a pulse. Like I saw Nina at first, she says, I can't feel the pulse. Then after Dr. Giovanni very carefully explained what to do, she says, aha, I can feel the pulse. I saw that in the chat. So there is that aha moment of you can feel the pulse. Then there's an aha moment of knowing which one is jumping more. That's so fun. It's exciting. But you want to keep to yourself as you're learning. You just say, I'm just learning. But can I ask you some questions? And then you can ask them questions. What do you struggle with? What are you feeling in your physical, mental, emotional? And you just take notes, take notes, take notes, take notes like this. So many of you are just curious. You're just here because you're curious. That's beautiful. You can be here and be curious. No problem. It's a place to explore. And then some of you want to go very deep. And so for that, we have the 2-year certification course that's after this 100-day training. 100-day training is giving a basic foundation of the principles, processes, and results, so that way you can be powerful in helping yourself. Now, to help others, the 2-year certification course you'll be matched up with a mentor. That mentor will help you in many cases. You'll be able to come to clinic locations, actually feel pulses, sit next to myself, Dr. Giovanni, Dr. Heman, one of the other house mentors. And so we can go deeper and deeper and deeper. Dr. Giovanni, any final words you want to share with everyone? Any inspiration?
I saw much enthusiasm. Also at the beginning, I see at the beginning, I was also, very new to that. Yeah, and very difficult for me at the beginning, to discover where Vata, Pitta, Kapha, the bones, where is the arteries. Yeah, and then slowly it becomes more clear. Yeah, but again, focus on Vata, Pitta, Kapha. Now, I think this is the first advice and teaching that Dr. Naram has given me. So focus on Vata, Pitta, Kapha, and then there are different levels that will be explained or in future.
Yeah, beautiful. I see that Alicia just came on the call. Alicia, I don't know if you can start your video and just share. Beautiful. So it's so fun. I remember the first time I was in India, now it was almost 11 years ago, with Alicia. Dr. Naram sent us out of the room and said, Dr. Giovanni will be the one teaching you pulse. And Alicia, you remember that? Yeah. What do you remember about that moment?
Oh, well, I was just so blown away by pulse that was my first live pulse experience with Dr. Naram, and to have that as your first teacher and Dr. Giovanni, who are both just on this profound level of listening so deeply to all levels of the being. It was just a mind expanding, mind opening experience. That's the main thing I remember, is just being so wow. And then simultaneously being wow, there's a science to this. This is something we can all tune into. This is something that is so supportive.
Yeah, beautiful. Yeah, I saw Alicia learning it, and I just out of curiosity, I wanted to see if I could learn it as well. So I remember Dr. Giovanni saying, okay, feel which one you can feel. And I felt in the pulse of the patient, and I was like, is it Vata? He's like, yes, you did it. I was so excited. And then I remember sitting next to Dr. Ram, and he would hand the wrist of the person to the people that were learning with him. So oftentimes he'd hand the wrist to me, and he'd say, feel this and listen for this particular thing, and it took me a long, long time, because I never got in my head that I could learn it. I mean, honestly, I don't know why I was so stubborn, but then finally Dr. Naram couldn't go to a location. And so he sent me to that location, Saudi Arabia. And at first I was just supposed to take the pulse of one person. Actually, you guys know Munera. She's on I don't know if she's here right now. Let's see. It's kind of late right there in Saudi Arabia, but I was supposed to take the pulse of her grandmother. But when I was going, all of a sudden people found out that I was coming. By the time I got there was more than 40 people waiting for their pulse. And I think it was the first time that this ancient secrets was brought to that country. And I had the honor of knowing this ancient art and science. And I was helping people. And I remember I just share one story. So it was a moment where I was going to the clinic. I helped her grandmother, who just is a beautiful, powerful woman, And then as we were going to the place where I was going to teach the seminar and do the clinic, I got a phone call from Dr. Am. He's like, how is it going? I was like, super. He's like, very good. Now just be a little careful, because it's not exactly a country that's ruled by law. There's a king. And so if you get in trouble, it's very difficult for us to be able to help you. I was like, oh my goodness, that's a lot of pressure. So then we got to the hotel, and there was a letter there. And the person at the hotel where we were doing the clinic, he says, are you Dr. Clint G. Rogers? I was like, yeah. He's like, you have a very important message. And I'm reading, and it says, this is Dr. Mohammed such and such from Ministry of Health. Call me right away. I was like, oh my goodness. So then all of a sudden I have Munera, we're calling this person. She's speaking to him. He says, is Dr. Clint doing a pulse? Is he helping people inside Saudi Arabia? And she's like, well, yeah, he's teaching a seminar, and then he's seeing people one-on-one for consultations. And he says, oh, good. Can I bring my sister? So he got his sister, and her sister had full burqa on, and her sister's husband was there, who was wearing the whole beautiful outfit. And I took her pulse, and I remember in that moment, all of a sudden, it was like everything came together. The things that he had helped me whenever I was taking the pulse, the things that we had put in the book, the things that I learned this place. I said, oh, are you experiencing this? Are you experiencing this? Are you experiencing this? And she would laugh, and her husband would laugh more, because how from just the pulse you could understand someone so deeply. She had a burqa on. I couldn't even see her face. I could just see her eyes, but just the pulse told me so much about her. It was like, Karate Kid, the moment where he's like, old man, I'm just doing your chores and I'm not learning anything. You're making me wax the deck, wax your car, sand the deck, paint the fence. And then Mr. Miyagi says, paint the fence, and as he paints the fence, Mr. Miyagi kicks and he blocks it. All of a sudden he realizes in that moment how much he learned. And that's what happens with this ancient art and science of pulse healing. You learn so much when you don't know that you're learning. Just being a part of this 100-day course, we have only 2 sessions on pulse. Right now, today we did with Giovanni. We have another one coming up. That's one of the main Saturday sessions. But really everything is about pulse. As you learn the principles of this ancient science, you'll have that miracle moment where it's like we'll call it the Karate Kid moment, where you realize how much you learned without even knowing that you were learning. And after that, the brother of this woman, he took me to the side. He's like, listen, there's only 40, 50 people here. I organize events like this. I can have the room packed with 200, 300 people next time you come. Please let me help organize it for you. And at that moment, I went back to Dr. Naram in India, and I was like, oh, thank you, Dr. Naram. That was more exciting. We just got off stage presenting for 200, 300,000 people. And Vinay was there. His guru was the one organizing this big, beautiful event. More exciting than speaking to that many people was listening to one single pulse and knowing what's happening in the body, the mind, the emotions of that person, and be able to explain their situation better than they could themselves. So that's this path that we're on. And I'm so grateful, Giovanni, for you taking time to share.
Thank you, Clint. Thank you, Dr. Clint. Yes. Thank you very much. Yes. Yeah. We don't need to see. Yeah. You just, the pulse and eyes and done. Very good.
I want to say Alicia is teaching this Saturday's special training. Alicia, you want to give them a sneak peek on what's going to happen this Saturday?
Oh, sure. So this Saturday, we're going to dive into how Vata, Pitta, and Kapha work in our circadian rhythms so that we can align our bodies with the rhythms of nature just by how we live our day-to-day life. And I'm going to give you all the Ayurvedic practices to optimize your health through the daily routine.
Ah, so powerful. So what is a circadian rhythm?
Circadian rhythm is our body's governed by the sun, where the sun moves in the sky and around how the earth is spinning, and we are a part of nature. So the circadian rhythm is how our hormones and our gut digestive enzymes and all the different things, our neurotransmitters, how we feel each day, are governed by these 24-hour cycle that the sun moves in. And so when those are synced up, we experience great health, and then all the things that you're doing, the herbal supports and all the other practices that you're doing kind of have a place to fit in that daily rhythm.
Wow, so powerful. I see so many people.
Yes, very good. And also the three energy, no, Alicia and all of you. Yeah, the three energy are changing and moving, no, in constantly during the day, during the season, during the year. There is a constant movement, so we have to keep a balance. We have to keep a balance, a dynamic balance in all this changing energy.
Well, a dynamic balance. I love that you brought that up, Dr. Giovanni, because sometimes when we're trying to heal, we imagine this place, this destination we're going to get to, and there's nowhere to get to, right? we actually are seeking that dynamic balance that's always changing. When you think about the fluctuations of the seasons, spring, summer, fall, winter, the way that we respond to our body in those seasons changes. So the way that we respond to our body in a 24-hour cycle also has fluctuation and change. And this is a science that most people don't know, and it's so powerful.
So powerful. I just want to say, going back to Pulse, I'm going to be doing some clinics coming up at different locations. Salt Lake City, February 13th. I'll be in Bettendorf, Iowa with Rochelle at her Infinite Living Center, February 14th and 15th. Sacramento, California with Ronnie on February 16th. Cabo, Mexico coming up as well about March 30th. And Atlanta, Georgia with Jana and Kitty Pope on April 2nd. If you're close to the area, you want to come just volunteer that day. See what happens. It's possible. Also, when Dr. Giovanni starts again, there'll be some opportunities, but it's a beautiful thing to be in that container of the Pulse Clinic environment and to see how this is applied and how it works. So if you're interested in that, you can contact Monica at myancientsecrets.com. Don't miss this Saturday. Alicia's prepared so well. We're excited about having you learn about what is the daily routines according to this ancient science, these ancient secrets, which can help you be in alignment to have vibrant health, unlimited energy, and peace of mind. I just want to say in conclusion, Giovanni, I'm so grateful for you. I love you so much. I love you more than I can say. You know.
Thank you very much. Thank you, Clint. Thank you very much for your amazing work. Yeah. And love to everybody, everybody.
Thank you, Giovanni, for dedicating your life to this ancient science. So that way we can all benefit. And as I'm just looking out the window right now, I don't know if you can see this, but like really a lot of snowfall is coming down right now. On the note of all the different seasons and the changing, you know, things change and seasons change, and how to make it so we're prepared. Don't miss this Saturday with Alicia. Any final words, Giovanni?
No, it's very interesting. Yeah, because this is what we are going, Alicia is going to say, is the basic of our health. Yeah, so the daily routine is part of one of the pillars of our six instruments, key of health. No, so the habit, what to do regularly, what to do in the morning, when to eat, what to do. So this gives you the tools of maintain a perfect health.
Beautiful. You know, I just want to say in conclusion, in the chat, because I have another call that will start. I see that Dr. Heman. Dr. Heman, are you on the call? Let's see here. And I think I saw Dr. Heman come on the call. But in the chat, I want you to put your takeaway from today. Your takeaway from today. So Doctor, we can read the couple to Dr. Heman. What is your takeaway from today? Dr. Heman, welcome, welcome.
Thank you. Very happy to be here again.
Hello, Dr. Heman.
Giovanni. Hi.
Hello.
We just had a very special bonus session on how to read the pulse that Dr. Giovanni taught Dr. Heman. I want you to hear some of people's takeaways. First of all, Esther Francis, what's your takeaway from today?
Wow, I am so thrilled. You know, every time I participate, I am filled with joy and tears. But today, what's been happening in my life is multi-dimensional connections between all the things I've studied. It feels like this is bringing that central axis and deepening. I'm an astrologer, so the seasons, so I'm making correlations. It's like my mind is just going, and my heart is so infused in all of it because of all of you and Dr. Naram, and this amazing connection with my Buddhist background, that this goes back to the original with the Buddha, and that's been the backbone of my spiritual studies in this life and probably many. So gratitude. What a journey. I felt so called the first time I saw the Facebook with the miracle, and I didn't know why. I just said yes. I'm so thankful. You're all so inspiring. I just feel such love for you all.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Francis. Kyle says, learning and understanding multidimensional connections of reading the elements of the body and how they correlate with dynamic health and the natural workings of the earth is his takeaway. I want to go to Keith Palmer. I'm sorry, I might have said your last name wrong. Palmatier?
Palmatier, yeah.
Okay, what's your takeaway from today, Keith?
This is really intriguing, and I got so much to learn. I'm really excited to learn. Thank you very much. Thank you, Dr. Giovanni.
Thank you, dear.
Thank you. I want to go to Helena. Helena, what's your takeaway from today?
I'm so happy about that. I wanted to know that for a long time, but it seems to be so difficult. And I look forward to be good at this, but you know, that takes time, and I will do.
Yeah,
Thank you so very much.
Thank you, Helena. Helena is one of the beautiful people who helped me with so much graphic design. Like even that beautiful award that we give to people, the Dr. Naram Award, she's the one that designed it. This one right here. I don't know if you can see that one. So beautiful. So if you can learn how to design, you can learn how to do pulse. You know, there's a saying that helped me. Dr. Ram didn't say this, but someone else told me when I was younger. Before you're great at anything, you're good at it. Before you're great, you're good. Before you're good, usually you're bad. And before you're bad, usually you start. You know, so that's the progression. You start and you're bad. Then you start, you get good. And then after you're good, you do it long enough, you become great. Dr. Ram says there's one thing that can change anything in our lives. It's persistence. If you're persistent, you can change your diabetes. If you're persistent, you can change anything. And so persistence, persistence, persistence is a big, big takeaway. All right, I just feel like I should go to one more person. Let's say Renara. Renara, what's your takeaway from today? Oh, you got to unmute yourself. It didn't quite unmute yet.
I'm absolutely amazed that at this stage already we can feel and to learn to feel the pulse. It is like such a gift. I'm excited, you know, to feel the pulse of all of my friends. and to increase the sensitivity, actually. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, beautiful. Well, you don't forget your challenge activity, everybody. Your challenge activity is to feel, according to Dr. Naram, he would actually say 100 pulses, you know? So feel as many as you can. And then later on in this 100 days, we're going to have another special training on pulse where you can report what you've learned and how much you've learned. And now, again, this is a bonus session. It's totally optional, but I know some of you have a burning desire. So the best way to learn is by doing. Knowing is not doing. According to Dr. Naram, doing is doing. So take time, feel as many pulses, take notes. And as you're doing it, then you'll get more sensitivity. You'll be able to observe more things. Final words, Dr. Giovanni?
No, I'm very happy. I'm very happy that already there are great students. Great students already after the first try. They get something. They could see. Oh, I have Vata. I have seen. Oh, I have Pitta. So they can feel something. Congratulations! Big future ahead.
Beautiful. Elsa says, thank you for such a wonderful bonus lesson. My take on the session was to understand that we are not checking pulse to pulse, but connecting heart to heart. And that's a beautiful thing to end on. It's not a technical skill that you're learning. Ultimately, it's about your being. Now, if so many people on this call are from so many countries, speak so many languages, a lot of you, English is your second language. How did you learn English? You immersed yourself in it. You started interacting in that language, and then slowly, slowly you learned English. For those who speak English and had to learn another language, you learned it slowly, slowly by that. So now immerse yourself in the pulse. Take as many pulses as you can and start to learn in this way. And through this, you can become a powerful instrument for healing on this planet. Thank you. I love you so much. You can unmute yourself, say, I love you and I'm with you. For those who are on the
I love you and I'm with you.
I love you and I'm with you.
I love you
and I'm with you. I love you and I'm with you.
Love you and I'm with you.
Love you and I'm with you and I'm with you. Love 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 you and I'm with you. I love you. I'm with you. Love you and Love you and I'm with you.
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 So beautiful.
Hi, Dr. Clint.
Oh, hey, I love you and I'm with you. Amazing. All right, I love you and I'm with you. I'm going to end this call. And for those who are here for the preparation call for Saturday, Alicia, Dr. Hemman, Heidi, Carol, just come back on because we'll have to go that way. I love you all and I'm with you. See you tomorrow's bonus session with Stephen. Don't miss it. Same time.